Welcome back to the channel and to the back nine at Scarcroft, which, let's face it, is astronomically good. Unfortunately, my golf was completely the opposite and I shuffled on to +4. And here we go, starting on the 10th, probably one of the most brutal par 4s on the course, and it's also into the wind, which doesn't help. I absolutely need my best drive here to even have a chance of making it in 2. That isn't it. Club's gone flying and taken out my mother. What a shame. And I'm in the wilderness. Gonna have to just chop this back to the fairway in my boonie. I'm adventuring, so it's probably a good thing. Hybrid in hand, still 220 to go here. Probably no chance of reaching. Was definitely not going to reach on that line anyway. I'm short. And left. Now I have to try and get up and down for bogey, and this is turning into a bit of a calamity early doors. It's not a bad chip, but the distance and direction were a little bit off. Bogey putt, rammed home, and a big sigh of relief. And then we move to +5 in the 11th, where the chute to play through off this white tee is narrower than my butt crack after a bad Indian. Hybrid in hand because I'm scared to death of this tee shot. There's a ditch to the left and a bunker right to avoid. I pulled that left of target actually, but it's turned out perfectly and we only have a gap wedge in here. Round about 100 yards. Should be right in my wheelhouse, except I've touched the hosel and that's appalling. I don't even fully understand how that's not gone in the ditch, but I'll take a bit of luck. Although I'm on a downslope and I don't really have much chance of stopping this by the hole bar holing it. Had too much juice. This to save par. That never had a chance. Morag's laughing at me and I don't blame her, and we've made 2 bogeys on the trot to start with. And following that train wreck, we're now on to 12, where it's another tricky hole. Definitely don't want to go in that ditch on the left, and there's bunkers that might swallow your ball if you go right. We finally found something that we were aiming for off the tee though, with a nice tight draw. Just trickled to the left hand side, but we'll take it all day long. Into the wind and uphill. This is 8-iron from 150 and we've got to get all this. My on-course commentary suggests I've floated that into the air, which is the last thing you want to be doing if it's into the wind. But we've trickled onto the front edge, but now we have a tricky 2-putt. Giving this a wrap. Oh my word, that would have been sensational and borderline unbelievable. Having said that, we're off the bogey train, which is a relief, and we're on to a par 3 at +6, and we have to literally make miracles occur, really. This is a 9-iron, but it's straight downwind and slightly downhill, so I'm trying to learn my lesson from the first time I played this hole. But that won't get the job done. I've missed the green right. However, should be a fairly straightforward up and down. We're just on the fringe grass short of the green. Except I've managed to blade my 52 degree. That's an ass. And not a good one. I'm playing like an ass though. This for par. Don't be ridiculous. That was never going in. And we've just made 3 bogeys in 4. Thankfully, we may have a bit of respite here with a very reachable sweeping dogleg par 5 and a nice pond short of the green, so it looks cool this hole. Have to put some serious left to right action on this tee shot though to get it round the corner. And somehow I've achieved that with what can only be described as the weirdest swing on YouTube. But I'm in the middle of the fairway with an 8-iron into a par 5, so this is definitely an opportunity. Pin's on the left of the green. I've started it at the right edge, but I've just not got the high draw that I was looking for. However, we are in a good spot here. Long putt across the green with a bit of right to left break on it. 2 putts would be magical. 1 putt would be impossible. But we've made it. That's a birdie. And we've skipped on to the beautiful 15th. Although it will bite you a this hole because you can barely even see the green from the tee, which is a bit scary. What can we do here? This is a full blast 7-iron. Wind's beating us from left to right and it's beating my ball, unfortunately. Started where I was aiming, but it's just turned over and ended up in the bunker. This is a very naughty shot. Don't really have that much green to work with. Not had the best luck after sculling one on the front nine out of a bunker. And I've done the only thing that is normal and making a complete mess of it. Par putt. Early walk definitely means I've missed it. I've backed it in, but that's another bogue. So without being able to roll back the hands of time, I don't think we're breaking par today, but here's a drivable downhill par 4. Just have to hit this solidly at that left bunker and let my usual fade work. Having said that, I've shouted 4 and murdered somebody on the 17th tee. You'll notice here I am literally on the white tee bed, and I dread to think how close it was to those people, but I've got away with it and I have a shot. 60 yards and a sand wedge, and I should be sticking this tight really. Done about a 6 out of 10 job, got an unmakeable putt here, but yet again can't make anything, not even my own breakfast, as we watch Jim hit his tee shot, who just literally pipes it down the middle on every hole, and probably something to be learned for me there. Straight par 4, slightly sloping from left to right, so I'm just trying to hit a little peeler off the left edge of the fairway, which is bang on what I've actually done, which is nice, and we might be able to set up a birdie opportunity here if I find my golf game somewhere. This is a sand wedge and a nice little yardage just for a 3/4 from 80 yards. Lofted it skywards. It's come down with snow on it, but the wind's just pulled it to the left a little bit. But here we go. 10 feet left to right for the birdie. Please, for once. What a surprise. I've hit a good putt, but it's not gone. And that's just a par. And the last hole is a long, straight, beautiful par 5 to finish. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this less than stellar golf, but hopefully vaguely relatable. Let's see if we can smash this one down the middle. It does look a bit like I've hung it to the right, but it seems okay. And I will find it up there in a decent spot. I've just run into the rough, but I'm expecting a flyer, so this is a 7-iron from about 195 downwind and downhill. Unfortunately, as has been the case a few times on the back nine, I've just pushed this out to the right, but it's near pin high. We've got an opportunity to get up and down for a nice little birdie here, just to finish on a high. Chip looks nice. Nestled up fairly close. There's a shaft wafting in the foreground, but I've poured that one home. It's a 6 over par round, but I've loved the course. You should definitely play it. I would recommend it. Beautiful. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.